Welcome in, along with Mike Renner. I'm Steve Palazzolo, and this is your Green Bay Packers NFL Draft Recap, all powered by PFF Edge and Elite. All right, Mike, the Packers came in with some premium picks, a chance to really make an impact. I don't think we agreed with that first pick at 12, but they still have some impact players at the top of the draft.
At 12, Rashon Gary is a definition of a boom or bust draft pick. There's legitimately nothing from a production standpoint that suggests he should be a top 15 player in this draft class. That if you any way you want to slice it in terms of run defense, rushing the passer, even if you isolate it to purely third and longs, when he is rushing the passer and he knows exactly what his job's supposed to be. He still wasn't even a top 50 pass rusher last year in college football. That is concerning. The fact that all that freakish athleticism has not at any point translated to the football field. All you're banking on right now is that you can teach him the nuances of playing on the edge in the NFL.
And so perhaps kick him inside.
Or kick him inside is where I think would be the best opportunity, because it doesn't take as much nuance. You can just fire off the line of scrimmage and penetrate into the backfield, and that itself has value on the interior. So if that's the plan for him, I can get more on board with this pick. But if you want him to play the edge, learn how to rush the passer, yes, you might get a good pass rusher, but it might be a Nick Perry situation where the light switch turns on year 4, year 5, and all of a sudden
you lose value.
You don't have any value on the rookie contract. You're basically just paying an edge rusher then once he figures it out.
Yeah, it's a lot of analysis for Gary, but we've been on this channel quite a bit saying, look, it's just a big red flag, right? When you don't dominate at the college level with those measurables, 280 plus pounds, with the long arms, with the explosion and everything that he brings to the table. I will say, out of all the situations to go to, putting Gary on a defensive line that has guys like Kenny Clark and Mike Daniels, the edge defenders that they've added, that at least maybe puts them in better situations.
Yeah, they don't need him right away to make an impact. They have enough there in place, but it would be nice if he could, add something right out the gate, but I'm not sure he will.
Absolutely. Check out the rest of the breakdowns that we have here on the YouTube channel for the full Rashon Gary analysis when it comes to production versus his traits. Now, I will say with the Packers' next 3 picks, Darnell Savage, Elkin Jenkins, and Jay Sternberger, you've got 3 potential starters, or at least impact players. We use starters in quotes here, but Darnell Savage, they made a power move to go get him in the first round at number 21. A safety that we like as much as any other safety in this class.
Yeah, the perfect fit for their scheme. That's why they went up and got him. He is the single high foil to Adrian Amos's box safety that they signed in free agency. As explosive, can cover as much ground in the middle field as anyone. I think from a fit perspective, one of the favorites in the entire draft.
Yeah, and especially with the sub 4.4 speed. You talk about Gary's measurables.
Yeah.
Savage has great measurables that do show up on the field. Love what he does at the catch point, his explosiveness that shows up on the football field. We talked about Elkin Jenkins, the number 44 overall pick. He was the top pure center on our board, can play some guard. So I think you're getting a solid player. You love his balance and all the different things he brings to the table, but you're getting a guy that can certainly add a ton of reps to that team.
Yeah, he probably ends up at guard there, or maybe even tackle. He played some tackle at Mississippi State if they need him to be there. But he was, for my money, the best pass protecting center in this entire class, and goes a handful of picks later than Garrett Bradbury, who went in the middle of the first round. To me, Jenkins was the better prospect because of what he can do from a pass pro perspective. So it was in somewhat of a need there to get some offensive line help. He immediately bolsters that interior.
And one of my favorite picks of the entire draft, number 75 overall in the 3rd round, was Jay Sternberger from Texas A&M. He wasn't getting nearly as much hype as some of the other tight ends in this class, but as far as being able to run the seam, create yards after the catch, what he can do as a receiver, I think he might have been right below T.J. Hawkinson and right up there with Noah Fant, as far as the best receiving tight ends in this class.
Yeah, he's not special athletically, but he's a good enough athlete, and he's probably the best route runner, probably best at creating separation at the tight end position in this class. Has great soft hands, and he had 21 catches last season that got a +1 or better. If you're familiar with our grading system, that's a good to great catch. No one else had more than 14 this past season. So he had 7 more +1 or higher graded receptions. Big time plays, we call them. Had 7 more than anyone else in this draft class at the tight end position.
The distant cousin to big time throws. Let's just make it stick, Mike. And then how about on day 3? I heard you screaming about this guy, so I'll let you go. Your favorite day 3 pick for the Packers.
Kingsley Keke, the Texas A&M defensive tackle. He probably was a little out of position when he actually played at Texas A&M. They had him on the edge there, outside the tackle, playing a lot of his snaps there, but he goes to the Senior Bowl, 288 pounds, goes to 3 technique there, and he dominated, had the highest grade in the one-on-ones, highest pass rushing win rate among all players there that week. He used his hands so well. His short area quickness is off the charts. I think right now, he is a more productive, he is a better football player than Rashon Gary. Rashon Gary obviously has those upside traits, whatever. Kingsley Keke can
At
play the game of
150?
football, can make a more of an impact year one as a pass rusher in the sub package there for the Packers. Just at the moment. Now,
At the moment.
Rashon Gary, you're not drafting him for this year. You're banking on those traits to translate later. But at right now, I think I'd take Keke as a pass rusher.
The 150th player over the 12th best player, or the 12th overall pick in the draft. A bold statement, Mike. Overall, really like the Green Bay Packers draft. I think it'll hinge upon Gary's development,
Yes.
but they have, I'm calling it a high floor. The fact that they have Darnell Savage, Elkin Jenkins, and Sternberger, I think they've got a pretty good floor and a baseline in this draft. It's your Green Bay Packers NFL Draft Recap, all powered by PFF Edge and Elite.